Why? And
If you'd like to, Matt, since it was your slides.
Sure. So what we're suggesting, recommending, is that we talk about a 35% tax credit. And let me see if there's another slide here which might have more. Do we have a more detailed slide, or is this pretty much it? Okay. So the idea would be that we take a number, and we're saying somewhere between 5 and 10 million that we would sort of put into the program. And we would then create some rules about how the investment would be earned by the investors. And what's happening in other states is that they are saying one investor can't make the entire investment. So you encourage, again, these networks of angels to make the investment. So if a company is raising $1 million, you might say the 30% only applies to the first 250,000 that each individual investor makes. And that again keeps more people coming in. It makes sure you have more diversity in terms of the investment. It also makes sure that the company is really vetted in terms of due diligence. So take a company, it raises $1 million, and it has 4 investors who each put in $250,000. So it would earn, those people would earn the $75,000 each on their investment. So for a total of $300,000 that company at a 30% credit would get back, the investors would get for making that investment. And what we can look at is do they get it in the first year, they get it in the first 18 months, the first 24 months, and what are the conditions? The company have to stay in the state, spend the money in the state, and those are usually the kinds of conditions. I mean, similar to the kinds of things that Peter and CI would put on the companies. The next thing that would be exciting is that there may be opportunities for Peter and for CI's funds to actually look at some of the companies that qualified for the investment tax credits, for the credits, and actually make companion investments going forward. So not that they would get priority, but they would be sort of vetted also by CI, and so the next round there might be some CI investments there. I mean, one of the things that states are finding, as I said earlier, is that the angels just do a tremendous amount of homework. When somebody is actually writing a check for, certainly for $250,000, but even if it ended up being 10 people at $100,000, each getting a $30,000 credit, or 25 people getting a $5,000 credit, you just get very good intelligence. There's a whole sort of theory now about collective intelligence and the quality of how groups sort of make decisions. And so angels really are free labor for the state in the sense that they are able to process a lot of different deals. They come in with a lot of experience. All of them are worth many millions of dollars, so they've been successful in the past. And that talent then gets put into making an investment which will be spent. I mean, one of the things that Paul and I always talk about is that with startup companies, they spend every penny they get. This is money that's going right into the economy. It's going in to hire those students that are graduating from the universities. It's going to fit up the laboratory space that Peter doesn't pay for. And it's really immediately, so it is a stimulus program in that a startup company gets $500,000, it gets $1 million, and even if it's incentivized with these tax credits, that money is going right into the economy. The other thing that's important, especially when you think about the 2/3, 1/3 ratio, is that you now have people who have an investment in a company that the state also has an investment in. But if things don't go as well or they need more money, they're putting in the next round of money. There's no expectation that the state is going to come back in unless it's a CI incentivized investment. And so you've got now a team of people in the state who are willing to invest more money. So what we're saying is we think that it should be enough money that when we do the arithmetic, at least in this first year, that we won't run out of money before the end of the year. And we're thinking that somewhere, we're suggesting $5 million would be the minimum. Could be 7 or 8 million, but we don't want to scare you away. We really want to do this. And we think that the 35%, as we've said earlier, is the right number, and we think that we should limit it so that we have multiple angels involved in each deal. And so with those sort of caveats, I think we would have a very competitive program with the other states. Now, again, putting all the cards on the table, this can't be a one-year thing. And we have to sort of be able to at least investigate if we're very successful, and suddenly the demand is there for even more money. So it would be important to sort of go in with what are the expectations in terms of funding this in future years and creating a whole infrastructure, because the angels and the networks are only going to grow and really take it seriously if they know that this is something that we're going to be committed to. But I think with what's happening in Rhode Island and Massachusetts and New York, it will put us in a very good position.